What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for the after show. Baldur's Gate, episode 68. Existential dread.
I feel like I should be wearing the dunce cap right now.
Man, that started as a nice, chill, and then all those little drops started happening, and it just turned into something serious there at the end.
Got a nat 20 to get some legendary items before you left.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. That
Got
you
a
then,
nice
of course,
buff in
tortured
armor.
me with.
Yes, that was well needed. That was needed.
Yeah, I actually have armor now. I might be able to be missed at some point. I was like, hey, all right, like feeling good.
Dude, the Afridi armor, very fitting. Very fitting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very fitting for
that.
you.
I love that. Oh man, there's more. I wanted to, you know, hear how he got that or whatnot, but I was like, I'll save that for later. Now I don't know if
I really thought you were gonna ask him when he was up making potions, but before we could even get there, Asher's radar goes off before leaving the dream realm when it seems everything is at its most peaceful.
That's what started it. And then of course I rolled like shit, so you know I don't see anything. But I'm like, it's like it was very well done in terms of like getting me to think like, okay, and like there's something off, right? At first it's just like something's off. Maybe I'm tired, like I don't know, there's just something that's not fitting and I'm not sure. Like maybe we shouldn't have taken these, but then like also it was theirs, but like also, and then it's like, and then it was like when the lady came in the inn and I was like, oh, something's real off, something's real bad. I was like, something's real bad. And I was like, I think that was enough, like with how Powell was acting and with everything. I think that was just enough to be like, Asher's like, okay, he's like, Rook, buddy, focus for 5 minutes. Some shit's off, something's wrong. And then it's like, he's just super sus then, right? Like Powell's like yelling at Josiah and he's like, whoa, like, and then, you know, the wisdom save of like, you know, he's pretty, Asher's timid. He's not going to pipe up very often.
I love that you rolled for it and fucking, you know, it was like, hey man,
like,
you need to chill.
Yeah.
And,
like,
you know, him just the death glare back towards you. And
it's also, you know, Asher's very tired as well. I mean, because like,
yeah,
it's one thing to walk through it, but it's one to be the guide in the dream trying to help you walk through that, and then also this unease and then this visitation. It's like it's a lot at once, and I think that was like the confirmation of like there's definitely something wrong, and there's a lot of stuff looming that he doesn't know about, and he's like, shit's hitting the fan, and I don't need this happening in front of me, so you need to pipe down, pal, okay? Because he's done more for your fucking family than his dad has done. You know, like,
yeah, you're back and
snapped because it was a nat 1, so I was like, oh, he's snapping, like, yeah. Okay, like
he's back. You're backing your boy and your fucking team.
Yeah,
and you know, as you should. And this guy is questioning every decision that he's made for how long.
Yeah.
So he's had just enough time away from y'all to question everything and to not get any sleep and to be dreading the rest of the palace getting here and who can he trust? Who can he talk to? I feel bad for Pal because it's tough. It's like he's in a horrible spot.
You know, he's like, I can trust you guys. And I don't know about anybody else. And he doesn't know the full scope of what we just did either. Nor does he know anything about any of that, right? Like, so it's like, we don't know if that's had any effect at the palace with any of the other.
You don't know how purged people's memories are at all.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Josiah doesn't even know, is this something that your people used to know that they don't anymore?
That's a sick paranoia.
Is this
the title of this episode?
Part of it, everything that you've seen in the history of your people has shown this conflict with the Ember Dragon that you found. The artifacts have all shown one story, but the illusionary light on the cave has told of another. And shadow touched individuals and repelling them. And a modified version, not the full Heaven's Edge, but only this knife of light. This gift of Lathander. So maybe it is, but you don't know. You don't have that confirmation yet.
I think that's what's so interesting, at least to me, because the way I see it, this is absolutely like a, I don't know, like a Hail Hydra in terms of like Marvel, right? Like the seated like individuals working in the background, and then on the flip side of it, it's like either A, no one remembers or knows besides your father, or B, the elite of the elite. This is like goes back to like, you know, the church protecting texts of things, like because the people can't know about this because then they'll lose faith in the government or whatever. So it's like maybe they do know and they're just not sharing it because then the people will lose faith in the, you know, or whatever, right? Like it's just like there's so many questions, and to me what's craziest about all of this is that there's some possibility that my fucked up uncle is somehow involved in all of this, and I don't understand how or why, and it's driving me crazy. And I've been looking forward to this father meeting for so long, and now in my head, because I'm so paranoid, because that's all it's been this episode, is I feel like we genuinely did more harm after killing a fucking ancient dragon and like doing all this amazing stuff than good. Like I'm like, oh man, we screwed something up real bad, like you know, like, oh boy, don't meddle with stuff you don't understand.
If we're good at anything, it's stirring the pot without knowing what we're stirring.
That is true. That is true. But I don't know. That's next week is gonna be real interesting. I'm excited for you, buddy.
Oh, I'm dreading it. I have existential dread now. I feel like I left one of my kids at the store. Like, you know, and Josiah, he's trying to be a leader, but he also believes in his people. So he doesn't think that, you know, he's seen Marcel kick ass and take names, but he also forgets that, you know, he still needs to be there for him. So fuck, we left him with the Grateful Bread. We're going back that direction anyways. We'll pick him up if he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
He's not a tactician. He's not a true leader. He doesn't play chess. He goes with his spur of the moment instinct. And I think that's his biggest downfall, is he does not think it through. He doesn't think of the repercussions, and Pal nailed him. What you do has more effect than you know on the things around you, whether you know it or not. And that's his biggest lesson that he hasn't learned yet. And it's starting to get in as he's walking into that bakery, that he has completely fucked himself with his flippancy.
I love that scene so much, because it literally started with like, I mean, obviously on edge Pal, but he was very much like, wow, you've really grown into like a man. You're coming into your own. You know, don't worry about it. Marcel's upstairs, Asher's upstairs. Like, you know, like you're really coming into it. And then the Marcel's not upstairs. What do you mean? And then it's like, oh, we left him. And it's that just immediate, like, you child. Like, do you understand, like, the grabbing of the wrist? I just love the duality of that, of like,
he thought he was going to pull it off
moment, and then it was like, oh, you still are a child. Like, how could you, you know? And I'm like,
you left the spiritual leader of our people, the one who can guide us through this. What he thinks, you know, he doesn't know. He knows, he's got to see your party in action, but like, this is his rock. This is his only rock. That they have a lot vested in Marcel.
Well, and what I think is also an interesting point is that I think for Pal, in his mindset, the way he is now, it's not sleeping, not wanting to dream. Marcel is one of the only people in probably his known world that can provide answers to him specifically, not even the greater of whatever. I feel like there's part of it where it's like there is that selfishness of like, I need to sleep, and this is the only person that can give me answers as to if I'll be safe or can protect me while I sleep. And so it's like, yes, there's the larger picture, but I feel like some of it is like, if we lose that, I'm doomed myself, right? Like I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. I love that whole scene.
No, you have the full gravity of it. And I love that you were like, man, is there something wrong with Pal? There's something wrong with Pal. Yeah, there is something wrong with Pal. You are not yourself when you're put to the edge. Like he's finally, 100%. He's at that break point.
Everybody's gotten hangry, you know, like tired, and just overworked, and just like the littlest thing just sets you off. And that's what, you know, I rolled in that one and I fucking yelled at him, which I'd never do. But I was like, I was thinking like, yeah, I'm super paranoid and I feel like probably very tired.
So
like,
good.
So I was like, okay, like we're gonna do this, I guess, you know, because if I rolled well enough, he would have stayed quiet. He'd have been like, nope. Like,
I'm glad you didn't, because I think it's what Asher would have done there, because like you've already been through so much.
Yeah.
And now an unconscious Malthus and Ailson, a Hiram that you have no idea what condition he is in.
I have a thought on that.
Go for it.
I think Hiram is involved. I said this previously. I think it's too convenient that someone, Hiram, shows up when all of this is happening. And I think, in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's way too convenient. Now, he may just be Hiram or some star shit going on, but like, I'm like, that's way too convenient for this guy who just fits in the backstory of like, who has relevant information on us, right? And based on a lot of the entities that we have, I've been in our heads and know a lot of this history, to just show up and be, oh, I'll rent your property and I'll just be friends with your friends. And then we leave Marcel. Well, Josiah leaves Marcel. I'm just kidding. But leaves him there, and Hiram's there tweaking out and freaking out from a bad trip, we think. He never showed up. Convenient. And then all of a sudden, two unconscious people, Marcel's gone, and where's Hiram? Huh, I don't know. To me, that's all pretty fucking sus. This is me connecting the red lines. Everything's connected.
It's very sus.
So I don't know, we'll see, but maybe I'm wrong. But if I'm right, oh man, I can't wait to be like, I knew it.
Maybe they finally hit their limit in the back of the Grateful Bread, and they're just had a bit too much as well, and
yeah.
Hiram and Marcel are just down over at the CVS.
Could be, which would be
or
great.
It could be far more nefarious than that.
Knowing you, I'm betting on option 2.
I really thought it was a red herring. I thought he built up all the suspense, and they're just back there baked out of their minds. I thought they were gonna walk in and they're gonna be like super
breathing.
big. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping. The reason I wanted Rook to go first and smell is if there was blood.
Yep.
Because then
I was looking.
Then I knew I was
like
boned.
Iron. Oh no! Like iron and sulfur. Oh no! It's like,
We'll have to find out. It's gonna be a wild start.
Boy.
nope.
Episode 69.
Nice. Not
You guys are awesome. That was a lot of fun. Sorry to. I feel like these episodes, when you walk away from them, you're like, oh god, I don't even feel good. Like
this to me is the dread that I felt the first time we let the Goblin King go in Game of Saving Throws.
Oh,
I couldn't sleep that night.
Yeah, when you let him go, oh man. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. This was great. This was
Little
a good episode.
little slice of dread.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Back to those vibes. We'll see where the story goes. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you all next week. Bye-bye. If I can get my mouse.